Good afternoon, my friends here on whatever platform this is on. My name is Jenny. I have not stopped thinking about the lamp story. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I have my phone turned sideways. I can't tell if it looks like I'm looking at you if you look right here. So if I'm like my eyeballs are all over the place, I apologize. I I'm just going to try and film this on my phone instead of my computer. So, the lamp story is about a man who, you know what? How about I just read you the story and then we'll go from there? So, it says throwaway account because this is really personal. My last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note, he was 325 pounds and I was 120 pounds. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately, she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside of the house. And when my daughter was 2, she, my wife, bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. One day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs, and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it, and the next morning I didn't even go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first. Soon I stopped that too, as I wasn't eating or drinking. I stared at that fucking lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. She had someone come by and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance, it's hard to say, was breaking up and my wife was freaking out. She took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. The lamp was not real. The house is not real. My wife, my kids, none of this is real. This freaks me out. The last 10 years of my life are not fucking real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions. It took up my entire perspective, and all I could see was red. I heard voices, screams, all kinds of weird noises, and I became aware of pain. A fucking shit ton of pain. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth," and opened my eyes, and I was laying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out, and I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I'm confused on why that cop threw him. He was obviously injured. He threw him face down in the cop car? Like, come on, you can't get an ambulance or gently place him in there? Come on now. Anyway, I was taken to the hospital by the cop. Seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive, apparently. I mean, I guess you needed to get there quickly, but dang, he didn't have to throw you in there. And then he got CT scans and says, I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. They never existed. I was scared that I was going insane as I would cry myself to sleep, hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse in my peripheral. He is perpetually 5 years old, but I can never hear what he says. It says edit 24 hours after post. Never thought anyone would read this. I changed a line so it no longer seems that my 2-year-old daughter bore a child. Oh, I guess he had accidentally made a mistake. I have never seen Inception or the Star Trek episode, so many have mentioned, but I will eventually. I will not do an AMA. I've had many PMs describing similar experiences and 3 posters stating such experiences are impossible. I'd say more research needs to be done on brain functions. Pre med students don't assume you know everything. He's right. If you have asked if they can write a book, screenplay, stage play, rage comic series, etc., please consider this a tale open source and have fun with it. That's cool. I mean, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. He got knocked out and it's like a dream. I have seizures and I'm like, holy moly. I sometimes, because when you have a seizure and you wake up, you think you're still doing what you were doing when you had a seizure. At least I do. I'll see an ambulance and I'll think, am I in that ambulance? It's such a weird feeling. I know what he means. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. The last one I had was Mother's Day 2022. So I fell off this bed and I went bloop onto the floor and my dog was with me. So and I had luckily I've never been home alone, you know. They're usually stress induced, and after that one my doctor put me on a different anxiety medicine, and I guess that's what's kept me seizure free for this long. But I mean, we're coming on 3 years. However, I'm like, am I gonna wake up out of a coma and like, it's just, if you've ever experienced anything like that, it's just odd. You know what I'm talking about. Like you're questioning everything, your reality, like pinching yourself. Am I real? Is this real? Is this actual reality? Am I here or do I think I'm here? And everyone knows I'm not. Okay. Do I sound insane? Probably. Hopefully I don't, but whatever. That's the lamp story, and it is wild to think that this man got knocked out by some football player and was unconscious on the ground for however long, but he lived 10 years, had 2 children, had got married, and he mourned the loss of his wife and children. That's just crazy. That's crazy. That is the lamp story. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope it didn't look funny wherever I'm looking. I don't know. If I look at myself, it looks like I'm looking somewhere over there. Anyways, I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. Um, first week of January. And it's been a good one. It's been a really good year so far. It's been probably the best year yet so far. Anyways, you guys have a good day, and I will speak at you later. Not at you. I will speak with you later. Bye. He got pummeled by a football player, lived this entire life while he was knocked unconscious, and he grieved the loss of his family.